What's going on, everybody? It's Game Unboxing Reviews here, and welcome back to another Disney Infinity 2.0 news update. Now, finally, Disney has finally confirmed the Guardians of the Galaxy, and man is it awesome. We have so many screenshots, gameplay, trailer, power discs, all sorts to talk about. It's crazy. And also, along with the Guardians of the Galaxy, we also get a new villain that's been revealed, and he is in fact playable. Just like in the last video I talked about how Loki is now playable, there's another character that's evil and is now playable. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first things first, we're going to talk about the playset in general. So with the Guardians of the Galaxy playset, it is really cool. There's lots of footage on this game's playset already, and I have actually put a link to everything I found in the description, so you can just watch tons of Guardians of the Galaxy footage. It's amazing. You'll love it. So basically, this playset will feature appearances from the Collector, Roland the Accuser, and Cosmo. So lots of cool characters that we're going to see in the game that will give you missions and things. Also, what I wanted to mention is that with this game there's many crossover characters. So for example, you can have like what was it, Iron Man can go into the Ultimate Spider-Man or Spider-Man playset, and you know, he has his own missions and things. That's a really cool feature. But with this Guardians of the Galaxy playset, they also have that as well. So now Iron Man can actually go to the Guardians of the Galaxy playset. Not only Iron Man, but Nova can also do the same, and apparently Rocket Raccoon can visit the Avengers playset as well. So there's loads of gameplay there. You know, you got the Spider-Man, Avengers, Guardians, all those playsets. Then you got the crossover characters to go into those playsets. Not to mention the side missions either. So, and even the toy box. So there's a lot of gameplay here for everyone to enjoy, and it's going to be pretty big. Alright, so now on to power discs. So first off, here we have the space armor. Now this is for Gamora, and it's really cool. So basically, when you put this power disc on, it unlocks Gamora's out of this world space armor costume. This will give her added protection against enemies. So it's really cool to see yet again another costume power disc, but this time for a Guardian of the Galaxy, which is really nice. And I do have an image here of what I think it is, judging from you know, they have a little logo, and it kind of shows you what the power disc will be, and I think it's this one here, and that looks really cool, and I think that's a really nice costume choice, definitely. Next up is another team up power disc. So far we've seen that you can team up with Iron Patriot, the Winter Soldier, and I believe Ant-Man, which is really cool. But I think I did make a video of this one already, but it's nice to see it's confirmed that we can actually team up with Yondu, which is from the Guardians of the Galaxy. He'll fight alongside you with it, and he shoots arrows and sends enemies running for their lives. So he should be a really fun character to team up with, and maybe, just maybe, one day he'll become playable as well. I think it would be really nice if next year all the team up characters then become playable, because, like, you know, Winter Soldier, Iron Patriot, Yondu, they're all really cool characters, and I would absolutely love to have them as figures, but most importantly, be able to play as them. This power disc is called Groot's Roots. Now basically this themes out your toy box with Groot's Roots. So it basically gives you, you know, the how do you say it, the landscape, I guess. Like, it changes all the landscape. They have two power discs, landscape and sky disc, and the sky disc changes the sky, the landscape changes all of the land and the trees and things. So that should be really interesting to see in gameplay, and hopefully they do show this off at Comic-Con, because I'm interested to see how different it looks, you know. Yet again, this is Groot's View. Now, when you put this power disc down, it's embrace your inner green thumb and theme toy box skies out of Groot style. So that's the description for it, and basically it's exactly the same as Groot's Roots. It's, well, not exactly the same. It changes the sky, like I was saying, instead of the landscape. So if you have both of them, you're gonna get some, you know, kind of like your toy box will look more like Groot's world, I guess, in a way, something like that. So that'll be really interesting to see in game. So this one right here is Star-Lord's Galaxy. So basically, the description for this one is turn your toy box into nowhere, Star-Lord's home base in the galaxy. So that's really cool. Another kind of power disc similar to the one with Groot, but more related to Star-Lord. So that'll be really interesting to see in the game. I'm really excited about all these power discs, because basically the more you have, the more options you have in terms of creativity, and you can make a lot more things, so it'll be really interesting to see. And there's also one last power disc, which is connected to this one, but still pretty cool. Alright, so last but not least, this is the Rip Power Disc. So basically, very similar to the rest pretty much, is it changes the skies into Nowhere, which is one of the planets in Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's really cool indeed. And I believe we're coming to the end of the Power Discs. I think there's at least maybe 1 or 2 left, so it'll be interesting to see what they announce at Comic-Con, perhaps some really big reveals. Maybe they have more in store that, you know, while they said there's about around, how many, was there 40 I think? I could be wrong, but I think they said there's like 40 Power Discs for Marvel and 40 for Disney. So maybe while, you know, they've been dishing out all the news, maybe they've been making more. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Now on to the characters. So Star-Lord, for starters, has a very special upgrade in the skill tree, which allows him to place plasma turrets. This will continuously fire at nearby enemies. Not only that, but of course he has his guns, you know, his blaster rifles, and they can be upgraded so you can dual wield them, so you can have even more firepower. He has a few melee moves, but it's more to do with the technology. And of course he has his rocket boots, which when you first start off you won't be able to do much, but you'll be able to, you know, when you upgrade him, you'll be able to have a big super jump with these. They're really cool. You'll be able to like dodge really quickly. There's a lot of technical side. He's kind of, I don't want to say he's exactly like Iron Man because he's not, but he's similar to Iron Man in terms of he uses technology because he doesn't have any superpowers. So he's probably my favorite Guardian of the Galaxy, you know, character I've seen so far. I mean, they're all great. I watched the videos, I think they were all amazing. I'm very happy with every single character, but I think Star-Lord's the one I like the most. Next up we have Gamora. Now Gamora has a mix of melee combat and gunplay with both her sword and blaster. I was really interested to see that she had a blaster. I didn't think she would. I was just expecting more sword gameplay. So she's more melee type, similar to well, Black Widow, and she's also very athletic, so she can dodge really quickly. You know, I'm not sure if she has super jump, but she's a very quick character. So yeah, very similar to Black Widow in terms of combat and movement. Now the big guy, also known as Groot, is similar to characters like the Hulk and Venom in terms of strength. So, you know, he has his really strong melee attacks. They are really cool. The detail they've put into them is amazing. You see, you know, little bits of leaves falling off while he's doing it. It's really cool. He also has a ranged ability, which is interesting. So basically, he puts his hand into the ground and it shoots up like a tree, I guess, and attacks the enemy from far away. So that's really cool. He can also climb walls, and he's not the only character in the Guardians of the Galaxy playset that can climb walls as well, but we'll talk about that real soon. Alright, so now on to Rocket Raccoon. Now, Rocket is yet again another amazing character in this game. You know, all of them have brilliant abilities, you know, all really cool characters, but Rocket probably came second in the ones I've seen. He just does so much. So basically, when you start off, Rocket will have, you know, just probably one blaster rifle, and it won't be that powerful. But when you completely upgrade him, this means unlock the entire skill tree, everything in it. You will, he will have 2 dual-wield blaster rifles, and they shoot continuously. You know, they're really, really powerful weapons. Those rifles will also be able to charge. So when you charge it up and then you let it go once it's charged, it will make a huge explosion. So just imagine that with 2 dual-wield blaster rifles. He's a pretty powerful character. Also, he kind of has a super jump. It's not as big as most characters, but he does have a super jump, which is really cool. And also he can, of course, do a special move, just like every other character. And yes, again, it's to do with the big blaster rifles. So basically, what he does is he shoots it into the ground, and it makes a big explosion. And then he kind of moves everywhere really quickly and shoots it all over the place. So if you like characters with big guns and weapons and things, you're gonna love Rocket Raccoon. Now, this is the last character, but in the Guardians of the Galaxy. There is another character that's from the Guardians of the Galaxy universe, but he's not a good guy. But we'll talk about him real soon. So this is Drax, of course, and Drax is armed with 2 daggers. You know, so he's a big character with melee. He's very similar to, like, you know, Black Widow or Hawkeye. He uses his daggers a lot. I don't think they showed a special move with Drax, so I couldn't really see it, but it's probably something to do with his daggers. So yeah, that's what he uses for his attacks. He has the ability to both super jump, and just like Groot, he can also climb walls. So a lot of climbing walls characters. But from the Guardians of the Galaxy playset, I don't think you can just climb any old wall you see. I think it actually has to be a certain wall, for that character to climb. Like if it's Spider-Man, I think, you know, Spidey could just climb the wall easily, but with the Guardians of the Galaxy, I believe it's, you know, you actually have to find a certain part of that building that allows you to climb it. So that's interesting. Alright, so last but not least, we have Ronan the Accuser. Now, Ronan is of course a bad guy, and like before in the last video I talked about Loki, because Loki is now a playable character in the game. So that's really cool. So now we have Venom, Loki, and Ronan the Accuser. Is there any more villains I might have missed out there? I'm really still hoping Green Goblin is playable because he looked amazing in those trailers, so still fingers crossed for that. So yeah, Ronan the Accuser has some pretty cool attacks with his weapon, you know, the big hammer looking thing. I can't really remember the name of it, so sorry about that. He also has the ability to super jump like many of the other characters, but what's interesting about Ronan is he can actually deflect any incoming enemy attacks. So for example, if a turret is shooting at him, you press that button and he'll like move really quickly and all the shots will just deflect and go right to the enemy and blow them up. So he's a pretty cool character. Also, you can actually play as him in the playset, and I think they said you could fight Ronan as Ronan, so that's interesting. So you can kind of, you know, if you want to be the bad guy, but have to defeat the bad guy, you can do that, you know, that's really nice. So that probably means that Loki's playable in the Avengers playset, and hopefully Green Goblin is playable in the Spider-Man playset. Alright guys, so the last thing to show really is the new screenshots. Loads of new screenshots, and basically I can't really describe every single one of these because they, you know, you can see them. You can see exactly what it's showing. There's no little secrets in there or anything. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play some music over the top of these screenshots, and then it's easy and you can enjoy the music and watch a ton of screenshots, and they're all really nice quality as well. So yeah guys, enjoy! guys, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's everything we know about the Guardians of the Galaxy playset so far. Hopefully we'll get more news at Comic-Con. You know, I'm really hoping to see Iron Man in his space armor, hopefully. And it would be really cool if when Nova visits the playset, maybe, just maybe, it's Richard Rider. You know, how cool would that be if it's a Richard Rider skin when you go into that playset? That would be really cool. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching as always. Stay tuned for lots more news on Disney Infinity 2.0 and LEGO Batman 3. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.